Sylvia Faraci here. Dun, 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 dun.
Today, Chelsea Gabriellee is hanging out, filming some videos with me. We just got done filming a taste tripping test. So if you guys haven't seen that, it is the video I posted right before this one. But at the end of this video, there will be a link to that video. So you guys should watch it because it's crazy. So yeah, we are gonna be filming a Q&A for you guys. We're just gonna do random questions.
I feel like I'm in a job interview or like
Interrogation
room. I'm like, I didn't do it. Okay, we're gonna ask some awkward questions to one another and see how that goes. What's a body part you wouldn't mind losing?
Well, I mean, an easy out on that one is I wouldn't mind not having a pinky toe. So what about you?
If I didn't have to poop, my butthole.
If you didn't have to poop, but obviously we poop.
But I'm saying, like, if I didn't have to poop, I
like a Barbie
mind losing my butthole.
Actually, you can lose your butthole. Did you know that?
No.
You would probably need a colostomy bag, but you could technically make that a reality.
I don't want to
Next vlog, Chelsea loses her butthole.
I definitely don't want anything to do with that scenario. Who's the messiest person you know?
You. Other than myself, her.
Yeah, I'm probably like the messiest out of all my friends or like people that I know.
Next question. Where's the worst smelling place you've been?
There's probably so many. My car would be pretty high on the list sometimes.
What's the best thing that happened to you this week?
Absolutely nothing. Let me tell you about my week. All right, first of all, I come to Denver. Second of all,
that sounds awful.
I forget my ID, so I had to get a full little pat down on my way to the airport.
Which is gonna happen again on the way back because she still doesn't have her ID.
Third of all, we get here, her luggage takes forever to get out. Fourth of all, I can't go into the dispensary because I don't have an ID. I need my medicine, all right? Fifth of all, I need to run a bunch of errands and we're in the mountains, so we're far away from everything. And I try to stick to a vegan diet. I need to get my nails done, my hair done. I have all these things to do. She takes me down to a little town in the middle of the night. Nothing's open.
Little town. I took her down to Littleton and
little town.
Little town. And I thought the store was open 24 hours. It was like 2 in the morning.
She takes me down there and then she hits a curb.
We are awake.
Pops the tire.
I ran over a curb and popped my tire.
This is how my weekend was gone with this girl.
There was a lot of things that went wrong.
We had to ask a guy that we didn't know to change our tire.
There was a delivery person that was unloading for the grocery store we were trying to go into that was closed, and the internet lied to us. We asked him to come help us change our tire, and
she's been to Littletown plenty of times.
Littleton is a fine town.
She should know that the grocery store closes at midnight.
Apparently all the King Supers and Walmarts close at midnight now, just so you guys know.
Then we have to drive back on a donut.
That was a lot of fun. So apparently nothing good has happened to her all week.
Would you rather be really hairy or bald? Really hairy, for sure, 100%. I'll laser.
Like werewolf syndrome?
Laser hair removal everywhere.
I'd have to say bald. It depends on the level of hair. Like really hairy, is that like werewolf syndrome where it's like all over your face and all over your body, you have like body fur? Or is it like, oh, my arms are really hairy, so I have to shave them?
Would you rather be clever or beautiful?
Clever.
I would probably have to say I would rather be beautiful.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Realistically.
I feel like I haven't had looks the majority of my life, or at least in my mind I didn't. I feel like being clever gets you further.
What is the best and worst purchases you've ever made?
Best purchase, my watch. I'm not wearing a watch.
So nothing. She has nothing.
Actually, my phone. That would be my best purchase. It's definitely the thing I use the most.
I'm gonna go with my second worst purchase because I can't say. Well, I purchased so many bad things and not like a lot of good things. Your car? I mean, I guess having a car is good. Isn't my best purchase? Probably makeup. Probably the most important purchase.
Every time you buy makeup, it's the best purchase you've ever made.
No. I'm gonna go with the worst purchase I made since you already did the best. I would say one of my worst habits is probably either with Postmates. We're like really bad with that because I pretty much do that every meal. It's like the food is normally cold by the time it gets there. It's so much more expensive. It's just like not a good experience, but yet I do it every day. What would you consider the most embarrassing experience you've ever had? I actually peed the bed with the person I was dating. And at first I thought maybe the roof was leaking.
Why
I had
did you
no
pee the
idea.
bed?
I don't know. I was drinking and I woke up and I didn't know what was going on. But peeing the bed, that was probably one of the more embarrassing things that I've done. But there's a long list of those, so.
There is one funny story. One time, Dan, my husband, and I were traveling, I think we were in California, and we got this hotel room, and it was a regular hotel room, you know, the 2 queen beds, the bathroom's right there, right in front of the beds, and then it has like the TV, you know, and the dresser. And so we got back to the hotel room. He turns on the TV because we just got back from dinner, and he just wanted to relax, and my stomach just started hurting. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. But the TV is right next to the bathroom door, and the bed was like 2 feet from the TV. So all of this bathroom TV and bed are in a very, very close space. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh no, there's like force behind this. We might be married, but this was also a few years ago. We've only been married for 4 years. So this was like earlier in the marriage, but we had already been together 2 years before that. I know some people are very comfortable and they go to the bathroom in front of each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't really do that. And especially poop in front of each other. That's not something that we do. Not that there's anything wrong with that, if anybody does. So I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, things are about to get loud. I'm trying to tell him to turn up the TV volume so it buffers any sound. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this story. And mid-sentence, I didn't even finish my sentence. I'm like, you might want to turn up the and as soon as I was saying volume, it was the loudest fucking, no, it wasn't even a
explosion. Projectile everywhere.
It was loud. And it was not the kind of sound that you want your significant other to hear. So anyway, I started laughing so hard. I was in tears because it was so funny that I couldn't even get that sentence out before that happened. And of course I come out of the bathroom and I'm embarrassed. He's traumatized. He's looking at me like, what the hell just happened? And it was really funny. So that's one of the embarrassing stories I can think of, but at least me being embarrassed in front of him, I'll take that.
Okay, what was the craziest thing you ever did?
I really don't know. I don't do anything crazy.
Okay, one crazy thing I've done. One time I took everything out of somebody's refrigerator and dumped it on the tile, everything that they had in the refrigerator, because they pissed me off. And I drew like a smiley face with the maple syrup.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, I wanted to leave things on a good note, you know? When I was younger, I used to run away a lot, and I've run away from places that my parents have sent me. I've done some pretty crazy things, but those are... How long have you ever stayed without a shower?
Longer than I'd like to admit.
Probably a week or 2.
That was gonna be my answer too.
I think if I was really sick and I was like bedridden, I'm just like, it, you know?
I've fallen into like depressions over the years where if I was at home, I might have just not showered for a week, you know?
Got like dingleberries all up in your underwear.
I hope not.
Trailing off all over the place. If you were ever asked to choose between love and money, which would you choose?
If I had to choose between love and money, well, anyone that knows me knows that I chose love, not money. But maybe our love will blossom into money.
We all wish our love blossoms into money. I'd probably choose love, but I feel like I don't know if I really believe in that for me.
There's that one song that you always listen to that's
Elle King. She's the best. Have you ever embarrassed yourself in a public place? Of course, everybody has.
Oh, all the time.
One time I was underage and I hadn't eaten all day. I moved out really young. So I was going into this club and I started not feeling well. So I went outside, and where the line is for the outside, where the rope is, I just stood over the rope, still on the carpet thing, you know, like the mat that they roll out. And I threw up over the side of it. And then the guy's like, oh, you good now? You ready to come back in? And I was like, yeah. But I used to do stuff like that all the time. I've fallen asleep in parking
over the rope
lots and peed on myself.
That seems to be a trending story, peeing on yourself.
Not since I'm old and wise now.
She now wears diapers, is what I'm saying.
No. I don't need to do that. Did you ever kiss someone you shouldn't have even thought of kissing?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So
many people.
The majority of people I dated, I had no business.
That's normally like everyone.
When I think back on my dating life, I'm
with
fine.
Plenty of men.
What I'm saying is
so many men. She doesn't need any more, because her number, let me tell you, it's up there.
She doesn't know my number. Okay. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing?
My dad told me I was a different ethnicity for like 5 years of my life, and I believed it.
For me, when I was little, my dad told me that he was Superman, and I 100% believed it. I told everyone at my school. And of course, all my friends were like, no, he's not. Well, where's his outfit if he is? And I was like, it's in the closet, of course. And so I was so convinced that he was Superman and that his costume was in the closet. I would always try to sneak into their room and dig through their closet because I was always trying to find that costume.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I used to see ghosts when I was little. My mom, like the first house that we lived in, I used to always cry and I wouldn't go into her room and I'd tell her that there was a man underneath the bed. And I would just scream and freak out. And then I guess we found out that there was a man that died in my mom's room. So I believe in ghosts for sure.
That would have been a good Halloween story. Ghost stories.
Yeah, I have a lot of like weird things with that. Have you gone out with mismatched socks or shoes on?
100% mismatched socks.
One time I was partying all night and I didn't sleep and I went straight into work and I looked down on my feet and I had changed into 2 different kinds of sneakers and they were on like the wrong feet too, so I had to walk around because nobody was home, like nobody could bring me anything. I had to walk around like that at work all day.
Well, you at least have very thin feet, so if you had them backwards, maybe it wouldn't feel.
Yeah.
I feel like my feet are wide, so if I put them backwards, I'd be able to tell really bad.
Which animal would you choose to be?
It depends on what house I would end up in if I was like a household pet. I don't know that I want to be an animal.
I want to be a bird because they can fly and they're super intelligent, but I probably want to be a crow or a raven. Big bird lover over here.
When did you screw everything up but no one ever found out it was you?
Okay, so for my story, the person did eventually find out, but it was because I decided to tell them.
Okay.
And it wasn't for like a decade.
But what did you do?
Okay, so when I was younger, I obviously like didn't really think about money or what that meant to people. Like, you know, I was like pretty young. I was like 10 or 11. Anyways, my mom had a bunch of hundreds in her purse and I decided that I would take some money out because I didn't think that she would notice a little bit gone, you know. I don't know why she'd have like a stack of hundreds in her purse. Mom. But I took some money out and I took my friend and I out. We went and ate. I got my nails done. We did like a bunch of stuff, whatever.
Just lived like kings.
For like 10, 11-year-olds, I guess. So my mom ends up finding out and she thought someone from her office stole the money and she immediately blamed this woman and was like, I know it's her. She had no way of like finding. She checked the cameras, like everything, and like couldn't find anything, but she like just thought forever that it was her. Yeah.
Did that lady get in trouble? Like, did she get fired?
No, because they couldn't prove it. Yeah.
At least there's that. I would feel so bad if someone got fired for something I did.
Yeah, I mean, at that time in my life, I probably wouldn't have, but now I would.
Like, how many hundreds did you take?
Just like a couple. It definitely didn't make that woman's job any easier, and I felt really bad about it, mostly because I think stealing is wrong. That was the one and only time I've ever stolen from anyone. So yeah, I felt really bad. And I eventually told her this past year. She was really upset. She's still mad.
Oh, so you confessed?
Because I felt bad. I felt like I should tell her. She was still pissed. I shouldn't have told her. It didn't help anything. Everybody told me not to. I had to get it off my chest, you know?
Well, on that note, I guess I'll tell my story about when I did that when I was little. So bad.
Not the only thief in the group.
I don't remember stealing that high of an amount, but I feel so bad. It makes me sick to even think about. I would never steal now. So I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. So this was back when I lived in Spain, and me and my friends collected these stationaries. So they were like these little notepads that had like a very faint picture on the background of the paper that you write on. And so it'd be the whole notepad, and they were scented. So they smelled really good, and they had these cute little decorated envelopes that matched the paper. And so what me and my friends would do is we would trade a piece of paper and an envelope, and then we had one set of everything. I know it's probably like a really weird thing to collect, especially for a really little kid, but half of those I took the money out of my great aunt's purse. Yeah, I feel really, really bad about that because I don't know. I remember it was like coins, but I don't know in euros what that is. To this day, I have no idea. So maybe I was spending like a few dollars each time I did that, but I don't know. I have no idea. At the time, I didn't understand. I knew what I was doing was wrong because I was sneaking around. Like I would sneak into her bag and take the change and then go get these stationaries. I can't believe I'm admitting that. It makes me feel so bad, like such a bad person. But I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. That's my excuse, but really, it's so awful. I don't even like to say it out loud just because that was so bad.
Sorry, great aunt.
She forgives me, I know she does.
She's looking down at you right now.
I think that if anybody watches over me, she's one of them.
She's like, damn you, I know you just stole that money out of my purse.
I know, she doesn't care anymore.
She cares. Ew. You just splurted that everywhere.
That was so gross.
What's up, guys? I'm Sylvia. This is Chelsea.
And we're here to show you.
That was a good one. That was the kind of introduction I like. You put a lot of spunk and enthusiasm into that. This is
Sorry, girl. This is
my
Chelsea.
horoscope. My sun sign is Libra. My moon, right? I'm just kidding. My dog is an Aquarius. My pet goldfish is a Leo. So if you're not compatible with your pets, you can't sit with us.
What would you name your boat if you had one?
Looking for booty.
She's like, can I take a cab home now?
She's doing it for the clout. Yeah, right. You know how expensive it is to get
She's never leaving, guys.
from here to the airport in a cab.
I bring her up here so she can't leave.
And most of the time they don't even have cabs.
There's like barely any cabs.
Like they don't even have cabs, so it's not even an option. I tried to take a cab that one day.
Oh, she picked the snowiest day. The one snowstorm that we had this year that dropped a foot of snow on the ground. She decided to book a flight for that day. The day before. It wasn't like she planned it like, it wasn't like she planned it 2 weeks before and thought like, oh, you know, it was an accident. I didn't realize there was gonna be a storm.
I have to plan 2 weeks in advance just to leave.
She booked it the night before. And I told her, I was like, that day no one's driving anywhere because the roads are really
spontaneous.
I don't want to end up at the bottom of a cliff. So where I come from, I'm originally from Barcelona, Spain. I was born in Barcelona. I lived in Barcelona for a few years, but then moved to Murcia, southern Spain. I lived there until I was 9. So I moved to Salt Lake City, grew up there, bounced between Colorado and Utah a couple times as an adult, and currently I am still in Colorado, even though I go to Utah all the time. When I moved to the US, I did not speak any English. English is my third language, even though at this age, and because I grew up here, it is obviously my main language, even though I mess it up sometimes, but I think that's just normal. And that's where I come from. So, Chelsea, you said that you moved around.
I was born in Florida. And then I moved to the Carolinas. I only lived in the Carolinas for a short period of time. And then I moved to California. And then I moved back to Florida. I lived in New York for a while. Lived in New Orleans, Denver, and then Austin. My next stop is LA.
Next stop, LA.
Hopefully.
Age. I am 34 currently, and Chelsea is
25.
I am married. I've been married for 4 years. I've been with my husband for about 6 years total, and I have a little dog, Elvis. He is a Yorkie, and I've had my dog for a couple years.
I'm single. Been single for 2 years. Never been married. Don't have any children. I have a dog. He's a Neapolitan Mastiff. I like big, drooly, disgusting dogs. His name is Damien, and he's a very good boy. Hi guys. Oh, I'm hi guys. Or something.
That triggered me. Bleep.